feeding, everything like that. On the other hand, Brandon Frizen, who also played for the Blue Tongues last year, is a very experienced player, and I think they've been working really hard on their passing game. It was really obvious in the game that I watched before with the Blue Tongues versus Queensland that the Blue Tongues passing and driving is just absolutely on fire, and they're really, really good at finding each other around hoops.
That's fantastic. And as well as finding each other around hoops, later on they're going to have to find the snitch or the flag runner, which is Wallace Turner from the Queensland Thunderbirds. Who do you think will be his biggest problem to deal with later on in the game?
So I was under the impression that Alex Cunningham, shout out, was playing, but Alex is actually not playing. Alex is still on holidays in Venice in Europe after his trip to Nations Cup. So New South Wales are really relying on Cooper Fitzgerald and Jacob Sutherland to be their seekers. New South Wales B has been using Carl Kovic as their primary seeker.
Very nice, very nice. And you just mentioned Sutherland there, who just did a massive lob over the hoops. Is that a useful part of his utility, or do you think that's just a one-off?
I think New South Wales are definitely looking to play New South Wales A, the Blue Tongues, are definitely looking to play both in front and behind the hoops. They've been playing quite a box offense, swinging that ball round, especially Brendan Briscoe-Half often positions themselves behind hoops. So I think that they're definitely looking to make some long passes. Oh, great shot from H there.
That was absolutely
on New South Wales Bluebottles.
Beautiful.
That puts the score at 10-all.
It's quite an interesting first game, and it's been, less than 2 minutes, and it's already tied up.
I think this is going to be one of our closest games of the day.
You reckon?
Definitely.
Coming down to flag runner when it matters?
I think so. We'll find out. New South Wales Bluebottles with bludger control at the moment. Vicky there beating out Zale Briscoe-Half.
Sutherland for another one straight through the middle hoop. That power in his right arm, insane.
Yeah, Jacob in his training practices a lot of shots. Oh, huge tackle there from Jacob Sutherland.
And he's not letting go, fighting for that possession as the keeper, and he retains it.
Yeah, great defensive play there, especially with no beaters in for the Blue Tongues.
Oh, yes.
You really need to expect your chasers to lay a tackle on.
Who do we think are going to be the underdogs from each team that are going to give a surprisingly good performance?
I think Carolyn Crawford, who last year played for the Victorian Leadbeaters, is going to be really good for the New South Wales Blue Tongues.
Yeah.
They've proven today that they've got great hands around hoops, and I think they're a bit of an underdog, a smaller bodied player, but I think that they bring a lot of tenacity to the field. For the Blue Tongues, I'm really excited to see Vicky Huen and James J.V. Lim. I thought they played really well together in our game against the Bluebottles earlier today, Leadbeaters versus Bluebottles. So I think that New South Wales Bluebottles beating is really interesting and really dynamic, and they've got a lot of new beaters on their roster this year. So I think that that's really going to serve them well.
Very nice, very nice. Sutherland going for a one-man run for the pass at the hoops, and it's another goal. Dominating that quaffle possession, just not letting it go.
And New South Wales Blue Tongues recovering bludger control there. Nice play by Maddie Moulton. Australia Aurora's player just come back from Nations Cup. We have a lot of Nations Cup players on this Bluebottles team and on the Blue Tongues team as well. It's really interesting to see the experience that they're bringing and that really dynamic type of play. Yes. I think they learned a lot over in Spain, and I think they're really hyped to bring that intensity back to Australia.
Very nice, very nice. And here today as well for our ref team, we have the majority of the Thunderbirds out there. It's very good to see that the Thunderbirds are showing what we're capable of as the refs as well. We know that there's not going to be any bias there. They're going to stick to their guns and stick to their words. It's gonna be quite interesting with all the calls as well. We've already had a couple of brooms down, nothing too major. We did have one injury sub, but she is up and standing now, so bless her soul. Jacob with another run, no one really to defend him, and straight into that right hoop.
Jacob's dangerous. Jacob is very, very fast, and he's taking a sub. Max Brenner coming on now for Jacob Sutherland, Ava McConnell on for Caroline Crawford.
Who's just come
Luke
on for
Derrick
Jacob
on
now?
for Zale Briscoe-Hoff.
Look, I'm actually looking forward to Luke Derrick getting into some more contact today. Earlier today, he did a bit of a two-handed push from front on, which didn't end too well for him. I'm kind of hoping he does it again just for the memes, but honestly, it would be good if he doesn't because we don't want too many more cards. We want a very interesting game without those.
Yeah, I think Luke is such a dynamic player. Obviously, he's been in the scene for, 12 years
Yeah, he was
now.
saying 13 maybe, yeah.
Yeah, played for Team Australia numerous times. Has been at various levels of, like, playing lots, taking breaks, that kind of thing. So I think it's really interesting to see what Luke can bring to the field. He's got a great arm. He's got great physicality. So he'll definitely show that, hopefully, in this game.
Absolutely. Who's he being shut down by right now? I can't really see her face.
It's Vicky.
It is Vicky.
Vicky Huon.
She is absolutely standing her ground against him, making him work for that yellow bludger.
And that's another goal to the New South Wales Blue Tongues. So it's 40-10 in favour of Blue Tongues.
It's still within range. It's anybody's game as we are here on Game 6, New South Wales versus New South Wales.
I think that New South Wales Bluebottles really need to slow the game down. They're playing quite fast, looking for fast runs, and I think that the best way for them to stay in contest is going to be to play a range game and then look for a snitch catch.
Yep. Oh, here we go. Beautiful pass from past halfway, straight through the hoop, just mantling it on his way, but the goal still stands. That's what we love to see. The points, get those points on the board.
Yep, that's Team Australia coach Tom Russell there. New South Wales A, the Blue Tongues still with bludger control. Luke Derrick playing quite high up the field, looking to challenge the Bluebottles. We've got Georgia Kozlova and James JV Lim on for New South Wales B. Luke Derrick and Maddie Moulton on for New South Wales A.
Yep.
Pass off to Chloe Nebo, an absolute star of Nations Cup, probably one of Australia's highest goal scorers. Great pass over to Carl
blocked.
Kovic. Yeah, and that's a block. Great defense there by the Blue Tongues.
We've got a beautiful little bludger game happening off one end in their own little world. With the quaffle game still going, hand through those hoops, another goal.
Yeah, this game is quickly getting away from the Blue Tongues. They really need to. My advice, if I was Cameron Walker, would be slow it down, settle, look dangerous with your chaser game, but focus on getting bludger control back, because I think that they're really struggling by running the quaffle in straight into two bludgers.
Very nice, very nice. You mentioned before that Cam Walker, his team is actually his children. Do you think he has a favourite child that he's been trying to push the most to the best of their ability that might be doubting themselves?
So, I saw on the Nations Cup live stream, Cameron was a very prolific commenter. Like, he left a lot of comments on the live stream. And I would say that he was absolutely obsessed with Chloe Kneebone.
Oh.
Luke Derrick. Luke Derrick's on fire.
Giacomo trying to take down Brenner, was it?
Yeah, Max Brenner versus Giacomo Abua.
Took him down to one knee, but still wasn't enough. You would think being a chocolate company, he wouldn't be good at sport, but here we are, master of both worlds.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, big misbeat there by Ashana Bay.
That's all right, we got him recovering.
Oh, no. Good tip there by Tom Russell, and a nice beat by Samantha Chittenden, who has changed to beater this tournament. Sam Chittenden.
She's normally a keeper, is she not? Or a chaser? Chaser,
she
yes.
She usually chases for Team Australia.
Ah, very nice. Do you know what sparked that change in her position at all? Or is it just, let me do something new?
Yeah, I think it's a matter of like wanting to try something new. She's been in the game a long time. She's been at the top level of the
Sean
game
with the bludger,
a long
fakes him
time.
out, gets him. Changes from green to purple.
Yeah, great play there by Ashana Bay. Getting bludger control back. Cooper Fitzgerald driving into hoops. Liv Coleman setting a screen. And
Sam
that's
Chittenden
another
waiting
goal.
just at halfway for the opposition to come and attack them. Retreating to their hoops. Gets the possession back on those bludgers. Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, so that is 80-10 in favor of the Blue Tongues.
Look, I still feel like it is very early doors. We have slowed down the gameplay, as you were mentioning before, that you think they might need it to do. It has slowed, not right down, but enough to really figure out what the game plan is to get those points back up on the board and become more of a threat.
Chloe Kneebone really working hard there, but it's really tough without the support of your beaters.
Yes.
Running straight into the other team's chasers. Like, it comes down to a little bit of a 50-50 on who's stronger, who's faster. Can you step them? Are they going to tuck you to the ground? That kind of thing.
Oh!
Oh, beautiful spin move there by Liv Coleman.
Did she used to be a ballerina? Because that was a wonderful twirl.
No, Liv Coleman is actually a very high-level netball player. She was a New South Wales Swifts training partner for a number of years, and I'm not sure what team she plays for now, but I believe she plays goal defense.
Oh, very nice, very nice. It's quite interesting because she's now attacking those goals, scoring them, so it's good to see utilising her entire arsenal, if you would.
Great tackle there by Jacobu.
Peter coming in behind, just missing. Giacomo getting that control, taking. Is that Cooper down to the ground?
Yep. And here we go, Carrie Crawford getting taken
Oh!
down by Charlotte Wen. Oh, and the ref's got a hand up. I'm going to call that as a behind contact.
I think you might be right, but the refs are going to get in their little huddles, have a little comment of their own.
Yeah, so head referee for this game is Richard Cumrine. You may know him as the Pride referee or the Pride snitch if you tuned into World Cup 2023. Richard is an American and has moved to Australia for work. So we are very lucky to have him in all his refereeing and snitching glory.
And it's amazing. Unfortunately, Australia did come 6th recently, but to have someone from the country #1 helping us out in refereeing, it is absolutely useful to us, and then we can take the #1 spot from them next time.
Yeah, and Richard's very strict on lots of technical rules. For example, when you get beat and you have to follow the tap-in procedure, making sure you do that correctly, making sure your substitution procedures are correct, which is lots of things that I think, at least in Victoria, we're quite lax on.
Yep.
So he takes those things very, very seriously, and it means that we're playing really good high-level Quidditch.
That's it.
So that's a card on Giacomo Abuba.
It is, and it's now a quaffle turnover to Cooper, who's standing right in front of those hoops there. Is he going to put an arm through, or is he going to pass it off?
I think Cooper will go himself on this play.
He does, and he goes around the other side, little cheeky. Ashan in the middle with one bludger standing his ground.
So that brings the score to triple digits. It's 100-10 in favour of the New South Wales Blue Tongues, which we probably should have mentioned are the team in blue.
Yes, definitely. Although, hence the name, we thought that might be a given. But if you're colourblind, we do apologise. Giacomo with a fantastic dunk on the middle-sized hoop on the right-hand side, taking that up to 20-100. Giacomo, rising star in New South Wales. Recently played for the Australia team. Liv going in.
Oh, great
Goal!
drive there by Liv Coleman. She's just got really, really long arms.
She does.
So that
Quaffle already
should
over
bring the
halfway,
score
back to
to
Giacomo.
110-20. They just haven't flipped the scoreboard yet.
But that's okay because we will keep it the correct score.
You can also follow us on Quadball1. That's quadball.1 online if you want to keep up to date with State Shield 2024 live scores.
There we go. Nice little promo there. Quaffle moving around the hoops. Liv again with those long arms, just reaching out, taking the ball, saying, nah, you can't take this from
Sam Sam Chittenden in a bit of trouble. New South Wales have all 3 bludgers. Sorry, New South Wales B, the Bluebottles have all 3 bludgers.
Ashan just collecting one at the very far. Is he going to get back in that play or is he going to get beat out? He gets faked to throw the 3rd bludger back in. Will Sam notice? Sam hasn't noticed yet. She's focusing on New South Wales B. Now she's noticed, going for that purple bludger in the middle of the field, leaving the quaffle to the other quaffle carriers with Raj to get possession as keeper.
I think New South Wales Blue Tongues were really lucky in that defence.
Absolutely.
They didn't have any bludgers back, and New South Wales Blue Bottles just couldn't quite finish.
No.
Like, they're a couple metres in front of the hoops, and they were just struggling to actually hand that ball through. Harrison Jones and Kelsey Collins are now beating for the New South Wales Blue Tongues. Harry Jones hasn't played State Shield in, I think the last time Harry Jones played State Shield was in 2019.
Wow, what an old man.
Yeah, because he's been the coach previously.
Yes, I do remember that. And he's had enough of that. He's now showing the world what he's made of, making sure no one forgets who he is. I think so far this competition he has done a wonderful job of that. He's been an absolute nuisance to deal with. In a good way though, we love the man.
Oh, great shot there by Jacob Sutherland from outside the offensive keeper zone.
Another star player with another set of long limbs. He seems to be looking a little bit lost now without that quaffle. He's like, where did it go? I want to score again.
Yeah, absolutely. I went to Midwinter Quidditch tournament earlier this year.
Oh, yes.
Which is run by the University of Newcastle Fireballs in New South Wales. So it's held in Newcastle. And I refereed the grand final, which was the ESU Daywalkers versus the Nightmares Quadball Club. And a majority of the ESU goals came from Jacob Sutherland and Cameron Walker taking absolutely ripping shots on those hoops, and the Nightmares just not having their arms up and not being in a position to block them.
That's very unfortunate, just like it's unfortunate for the poor souls going up against Harry Jones as he beats them out, sending them back to their hoops. Kelsey's having a bit of a breeze there, just being like, yeah, you do you.
That's sometimes how I feel with my beta counterparts. Especially, I often beat with Sam Kilpatrick and Nikolai Young, and I just let them run. I let them run their head off, and I protect my quaffle carrier and hang out. Pass off to Arabella Barr, and that's a lovely goal there.
Wonderful goal. Is this her first or second state shield?
I believe this is her second or third.
Ooh.
But last year she played with the New South Wales Bluebottles.
That's right. So she's gone from New South Wales B to New South Wales A. She's got to be quite happy in herself for that.
Oh, absolutely. Unlucky shot there by Logan Davies. Just hits the hoop, turns the hoop and misses. Jacob Sutherland picking that up.
He's going up against Eden. Eden misses, unfortunately. Is it a 1v1? Beautiful pass off, nice goal on that right-hand side. That's what this sport is all about, that teamwork, that cohesion, knowing where your teammates are at the right moment, being able to trust them to finish the play when you can't yourself. This is absolutely fantastic gaming. If you're Cam Walker right now with the score sitting at 20 to 140, what would you be thinking in that sub box? What sort of game plan do you need right now to make that massive comeback?
Honestly, I think that the way that the Blue Tongues have been playing and the synergy they have, it's just a little bit out of reach for the Bluebottles. The Blue Tongues just have a little bit more finesse and a little bit more consistency in their beta game. So I think if I was Cam, I'd probably be saying to my team, keep your head up. You know, this is only a pool play game. For those following along at home, the next game this afternoon will be the 3rd versus 4th playoff, and then the game after that will be the 1st versus 2nd playoff. The winner of the 1st versus 2nd playoff goes straight into the grand final series on Sunday.
That's it.
The loser...
Oh, Eden blocked. Jacob Sutherland, take that, he says. I'm the better keeper.
Nice defense there from the Bluebottles. The loser of the 1v2 playoff plays the winner of the 3v4 playoff tomorrow morning in the preliminary final for a spot in the grand final.
Fair enough, and sorry to interrupt you there, Cam Walker calling that timeout for his team, getting them a 1-minute breather.
I think that's a great idea. Stop New South Wales Blue Tongues momentum.
Yes, 100%.
Take 5, deliver some key messages. I think for the Bluebottles, this game probably is now a little bit out of reach, that the score is 20 to 140. But I think that they just need to take this as experience and, you know, working out those kinks, getting synergy together, and go into their next game, which is likely going to be against the Queensland Thunderbirds in the 3rd v 4th playoff.
Sorry, not sorry, we're going to take it from you.
Just a little bias there.
Look, I got to support the team, you know. We got to have that confidence.
You got to have loyalty. So I think the matchup for Bluebottles and Queensland will be a really hotly contested game.
Yeah. I would say our strong suit right now has been our sublines. Shout out to Chris and shout out to Aaron for our coaches, just making sure that we got those sublines perfect. Nikki and Brooke as well, making sure that we get on and off at those right times, keeping it going and just making sure we're staying strong.
Yeah, I discussed this earlier today with Cooper Fitzgerald when we were commentating the first game of the day. And Queensland are in a little bit of a tricky spot this year in terms of they've had a lot of their long-standing players retire from playing at a state level, and they've brought up a lot of their Firehawks from last year into the Queensland Thunderbirds. And I think for them, they're going to improve as the tournament goes along because it's just about finding that synergy with each other.
Yes. And speaking of the Firehawks into Thunderbirds, we actually have some new players such as Siri Pass and Lachlan Free, who didn't actually go straight into the Firehawks. They went straight to number 1 into the Thunderbirds, this being their first state shield. And they are proving to be such a useful part of the team themselves, as well as the whole team, obviously. But for them doing it in their first year, it has been fantastic. Just like this fantastic pass over to Eden, straight into his hands. But he bumps his own teammate, saying, sorry, but I needed to get in the way.
Good pass over to Logan Davies. Harry Jones pressuring and passes right over Eden's head. Kelsey Collins there to clean up.
Very unfortunate, but it looks like we might have a full field run here if we're lucky. From the corner, going past the keeper zone, now entering the halfway mark. Is he going to take it on his own? Is he going to pass? He passes!
Pass to Bianca Scalone. Bianca Scalone flicks
no one there!
Yeah, not the best pass, but Ava McConnell cleans up. Pass back to Tom Russell. Tom Russell looking to hustle through. Pass to Max Brenner.
Oh!
Bianca Scalone.
Bruce down.
Not sure if that was a goal or not. I'm personally not on the best angle to see whether that went in the hoop or just hit the hoop and bounced out. I think they're also going to talk about whether Ryan Shields from the Bluebottles made that beat on Bianca Scalone.
Yes, that's going to be very, very crucial. Cameraman, you've got the better view here. You have zoomed in. Yes or no, do you think it was a goal?
Yes.
Yes, took a little bit of thinking. And he was right. Whistle's blown. What would you do without your cameraman? Shout out.
Yeah, and shout out to all of our volunteers, playing and non-playing, especially the non-playing that have come down from New South Wales and Canberra and Queensland to really referee and help us out here. It makes such a big difference to our sport. Obviously, everyone's a volunteer. So we wouldn't be able to run this without the hard work of our volunteers.
Also, shout out to Taylor being the tournament director, keeping the ship afloat, making sure things run on time. Today has been absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, we've got Taylor Angelo as our
what a block of the
director.
bludger. Sorry,
and
yes.
Elizabeth May as our assistant tournament director, and they've both been doing a great job there.
They have.
Tom
working
Russell looking for a
all
dunk,
day.
and Tom gets that dunk. Score is now 160 to 20.
Eden not able to get that possession of the ball.
I'm really glad it's dried up. This morning, those bludgers and that quaffle
Oh
was
my
slippery.
God, just coming straight out of your hands. You would think it's a sponge soaking up all that water.
Yeah, it was not the best,
No.
but that's okay. The weather's cleared up nicely, and
Oh!
tomorrow, good intercept there from Tom Russell. Picked up, however, by Alex Butler, looking to make a drive in. Passes off to Amber.
Oh, there is someone.
Yep, Amber Brealey.
My apologies, cameraman's leg was in the way. I was getting a good look at his leg hair.
Chris Collins now with the quaffle, passes off to Alex Butler, looking for a shot and goes straight over the top of the hoops. And it's nearly time for flag runner on field.
Yeah, it is. Wallace Turner from the Thunderbirds out on the field in all yellow.
Yep, and we've got Carl Kovac and Cooper Fitzgerald as our seekers.
There seem to be some returning seekers here, the team favourites, if you would, to start them off. Quite strong picks as well. But in saying that, Wallace is a strong snitch or flag runner himself. He may not look like it, but mate, he can take down even the biggest people. So don't count him out just yet.
Oh, good save there from Max Brenner. If that ball crossed the zone line, it would have been a double reset.
Wallace falling on his tushy.
Big beating there from
Wallace telling them,
New
come
South
on
Wales
in.
teams.
Think Wally might have regretted that decision. Cooper runs after him. He retreats. Fixing up his pants for a second time. Might need to get them resized.
Yeah, possibly a little big. All right, New South Wales Bluebottles going for the snitch now.
Oh!
That's a catch.
Is it though?
Looks pretty clean from what I saw, but we shall find out what the referees say.
I heard you're good at lip reading, so from looking here,
Oh.
what can you lip read from the ref?
Well, our head referee, Richard Cumrine, is currently checking if there are any other fouls on the play, and I think all of our referees has given them the shake of the head, and that is a clean catch to the New South Wales Bluebottles. That puts the score at 80 to 170, and the set score will be 200 if we are choosing to play on.
Do you think that they will choose to play on, or they're going to give their bodies a rest and recover for the next pool?
I think they'll absolutely choose to play on.
It's very crucial.
I think it's a bit of a, it's not very in the spirit of the game to choose to not play on.
Mm-hmm.
Like unless you're really down on numbers, or you're really struggling, or you're carrying lots of injuries. Like I think it's the correct thing to do to play that game on for the last 3 points.
Oh, very unlucky. Gets beat right in the sternum. So for those of you at home, New South Wales A only need those 3 goals, whereas once that scoreboard gets fixed, New South Wales B need 12 goals. The odds are definitely against them.
Oh, great goal there from Ava McConnell, another Aurora Australis player who's just returned from Nations Cup in Spain. So New South Wales Blue Tongues just need 2 goals to go, and I do believe that scoreboard is wrong.
It definitely is.
Okay, perfect.
It should definitely be 80 to 180.
We will have a chat with the scorekeepers after the match.
Most definitely.
Big pass over from Amber Brealey to Alex Butler. Alex Butler looking to drive on Bianca Scalone.
Oh,
missed
I
shot
think that's
there.
a miss or a beat before. Turtling the ball. Getting spooned by Max, I think it is, saying,
Yeah,
please
Max
give.
Brenner and James J.V. Lim is coming in to clean up.
Keeper getting possession, but now leaving his keeper zone. Pace slowed right down. Are we going to expect a charge? 1 pass.
New South Wales Bluebottle do have control now of the budget.
Oh no!
Oh,
Slipped right
unlucky.
through those fingers.
Yeah, that's tough, and I think that they'll be disappointed that they didn't.
Max
catch
Brennan
that.
with the lob to the middle of the field. waiting for their second of 3 goals.
Oh,
beat before. Brooms down. I think that's what the ref is now going to check.
And we have all the Bludgers off field.
Yes, we do. Leave them there. Let the Quaffle carriers fight for themselves. I say that and we're both beaters.
Yeah, we're both beaters. I hate running for a Bludger off field. I've had to do it a couple times today, and it is the worst.
Hoop refs, though, we do appreciate it when you do grab those bludgers for us, same as the ARs. Thank you for saving our legs that little bit of running. New South Wales B running straight down the field.
No beaters here. Chris Collins looking for a drive.
Oh, no! Fumbles the bag, but recoups the Quaffle. Passes it off. Kelsey? No, not Kelsey. Olivia?
Yep, great block there by Liv Coleman.
Raj, now with the ball.
Yeah, so Raj Kapoor actually played for the Queensland Thunderbirds last year, but is a New South Wales local. Started playing for UNSW Snakes on a Plane, which is now the ESU team, in 2012, I think.
In saying that, though, you guys gained Raj and we gained Aaron a few years back as he started in New South Wales and has now made his...
started in Victoria.
Oh, he started in Victoria?
Yeah, Aaron was a Victorian Honeyeater in 2019. He used to play for the Monash Muggles.
Very nice, very nice. And now he's made his way up to Queensland, the sunny state.
Yeah, it's not sunny in Victoria.
No.
It rained all yesterday.
Yep. We're anticipating some slight rains tomorrow, so just beware, viewers. There might be a little bit of rain tomorrow.
New South Wales, Bluebottles with budget control again. Cooper Fitzgerald just taking his time, passes off to Liv Coleman.
Thanks to Luke with that beat right in the middle, saving his teammate.
Yeah, Luke Derrick there just protecting the Quaffle.
Sam standing in the way, taking that hit.
Yeah, good control play there by Luke Derrick. Oh, nice block there by Chris Collins.
Sam, right at the hoops, ready to defend their home. Luke Derrick in the middle, forcing the pass off with the Quaffle. Sam then forcing another pass off straight to Liv, who's able to run down the field. No questions asked.
Oh, good stop there by Amber Brealey. Ball back to Chris Collins, protected in the keeper zone. Just waiting on some instruction. He's subbing off.
Hey, look, teamwork makes the dream work. Make sure everyone gets their minutes in.
Yeah, great goal there by Cooper Fitzgerald. New South Wales A, the Blue Tongues, playing a really high press on that game.
Giacomo now back on as the keeper. Giacomo scoring the winning goal for his team last state, I believe it was.
I think he scored basically all their goals against, it was a hotly contested game of New South Wales Bluebottles versus Victorian Leadbeaters. We played 2 games to golden goal. Our first game in pool play, New South Wales Bluebottles caught the flag runner to crawl their way back into a range game. And then it went to golden goal, and New South Wales with Giacomo Abuga scored the winning goal.
Beautiful goal right there by New South Wales B. I don't know her name, I'm so sorry.
Beat before, unfortunately.
Beat before? Oh, even worse. That's very unfortunate. Perfect placement, just unlucky timing.
Yeah, and then the next game between the Leadbeaters and the Bluebottles also went to golden goal, with Nathan Morton scoring the final goal to give the Leadbeaters the win to come third at last year's State Shield.
What a dream, getting that medal. And that is the third and final goal for Game 6. Outstanding performance from both New South Wales teams. Who do you think were the standouts? If we had to pick one from both teams, who do you think were the standouts?
I personally think Luke Derrick had a really, really good game. You could see that he was really switched on. He caught a lot of bludgers that were coming at him. His throwing was quite accurate. I was really impressed. I thought Ryan Shields on the Bluebottles also had a really good game. He does a lot of running. He makes a lot of hits. And he's very agile, and he dodges a lot of bludgers, which really impresses me.
Yeah.
I thought that Amber Brealey on the Bluebottles also had a really good game, made really great positioning behind hoops. Unfortunately, just didn't have that backing up of her teammates, and New South Wales Blue Tongues were just a little bit too strong in blocking her shots. And Liv Coleman was an absolute standout for me, driving, going coast to coast, driving that ball, dunking over players, getting defensive stops. Liv's only been playing for 12 to 18 months. So yeah, we're really impressed by her development and how far she's come.
Yeah, very nice, very nice. Well, if we can, we might try and get Luke Derrick over here and Liv. As you were just saying, she had those amazing plays. So we might try and get them over here, get a quick word from them, see how they think with their own performance. Obviously, they're going to have their quick debrief with their own teams. But yes, we'll hopefully get a word from them, and maybe even the head ref if he doesn't have too much more to do over there, just to see how he went. Make sure he took no crap, if we're keeping it PG.
Yeah, to be honest, Rich is so on top of this. He's already getting the next game set up.
Oh.
He's put the balls out in their rightful position.
Alrighty. Well, in the meantime, while we wait for those players, Nicola, do you have any jokes we can tell about any of the players? Obviously, there's the standard one where Aaron's bald, but he can do a backflip.
I love that. No, I actually recently went to a baby shower, and one of the activities was to write down your worst dad jokes, and then they got Lockie Ear, the incoming dad, to read out all the dad jokes, and it was absolutely hilarious, and I remember none of them, but they were terrible. I don't know if I know anything funny about anyone on these teams. I can, however, recommend to our viewers, if you are interested in more quad ball analysis, Jacob Sutherland and Cameron Walker have set up a podcast.
The Push Pod.
Yeah, I listened to their State Shield preview Nations Cup wrap-up episode.
Mm-hmm.
I thought their analysis was really good. It was really interesting to listen to. And they also did a neat little section where they discussed who on each team. They picked out some key players that they were interested in for developmental purposes, and they matched them up to players on the other team. So they talked about Rebecca Robb on the Bluebottles being a really great match for Aisha Karlik.
Yeah, Karlik.
On the
Thunderbirds.
On the Thunderbirds. So I thought that, the Push Pod, I can't believe Cam's probably going to watch this. I thought the Push Pod was pretty good.
Yes, that's exactly what the world needs. 2 more white men in a room talking about the things that they love.
Yeah, every white man in his podcast.
Mm-hmm. I heard, though, that they might be getting some special guests on there soon. So Cam and Jacob, who is the other co-host of the Push Pod, if you are listening, Nicola, who do you think would be a good guest for their first guest appearance?
I'd love them to interview Carolyn Crawford.
Carolyn Crawford?
I'd love to get a non-binary player on there to give their opinion on the game.
Yes.
Carrie's really experienced. They played at World Cup last year. They played at European Games as a reserve. And I think there's a really interesting experience to be learnt transitioning to a new team this year and being in a new environment. So I'd be really interested to hear what analysis they have of playing on Victoria for the past 2 years and now playing on the New South Wales Blue Tongues.
Yes, very nice. That would be a very good special guest.
But honestly, I'm happy any women, any people of colour, any non-binary players, anything that brings diversity to the 2 white men in a room would be excellent.
Unfortunately, we don't look like we have anyone of diversity coming over this way, but we do have Harry Jones walking right in the middle. So
on his phone. So
we might try and pinch him away from that, get him off some screen time and get a quick word from him.
I think Luke Derrick is supposed to be heading our way.
Supposed to be.
Hear from the man, the myth, the legend.
Yes.
Luke Derrick.
And he looks like he's already in his chilling clothes. He's straight out of the jersey. He's like, I've done my part. Let me go have a quick beer. Pass me the James Squire. He looks like he's just ready for it.
He's pretty casual. Like, if you've known Luke for a long time, you know Luke loves the backwards cap as well.
Yes, like he does right now.
Yeah, and he's not allowed to play with it anymore because Australia has a rule against hard brim hats.
They do. But that is quite okay because he doesn't really need it.
Yeah, it's not that sunny. I've put sunscreen on.
Alrighty. Well, we have Liv and Luke coming over this way now. Looks like they're talking crap about us. We were hopefully going to get them to say some nice words.
Not just you.
Just me. Yeah, makes sense. Well, if you guys want to come a little bit closer to the mic because the court is a little bit shorter, I do apologise. How do you think you went with your individual performances this game, and who was your biggest threat from the opposing team?
I think I played well. I mean, game's a game.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. I think the team is coming coming good by the end of the day. I think first game was a bit of a awful game from both sides. It was sort of crap, but I think every team's sort of gaining the momentum, which is really, really good. I don't think in terms of threats from the other team, you can really go past Giacomo.
Giacomo and Chris. Chris's step is
Yeah.
really, really hard to defend against. So I thought he did really well that game. Unfortunate that he missed that last one after stepping three of us. But
But I think as well, like, we really had to make sure to stay on top of their wing chasers, especially like players like Charlotte and Mayu, where like when the sort of like big strong keeper can't get through, they're really good at just picking up that ball and playing really smart. So our wing chasers on defense really had to play quite on top of things, because as soon as they let their guard down, like there was one play where it was like, oh, I'm not quite sure where I am, and all of a sudden they have the ball again after a missed shot. They're really, really good at that, so we had to stay on top of that really quickly.
How did you feel in the beta game? Obviously, Luke, we thought personally you were on fire. You made a lot of catches in that game.
It was like that sequence where it was like, throw catch, throw catch, throw catch, throw catch. I was like, there are only 3 bludgers. How have I caught 4? I'm very confused.
Yeah, I was very impressed with your sticky hands.
Yeah, it's what it is. It's all the lollies I eat. No, I think the beta game is really, really interesting. I think Ryan...
Yeah, Ryan Shields, we also identified him as a really good player.
No, I thought he's a good chaser. Moving to the beta game, revolutionary. He was so good. Ollie's playing incredible.
Yeah.
Like,
especially considering that he hasn't been playing or training for the last 6 months.
Yeah, so my understanding is that
Stuff,
Ollie,
yeah.
Ollie Dinner broke their foot.
Yes, that is
it
correct.
correct? Yep.
That's correct. So for this to be their first tournament back is pretty bloody
yeah,
good.
show it out.
Yeah.
Game against Queensland was so good from them. So we had to make sure, like, we didn't just want to walk in and go, they're our B team, we're going to easily win.
Yeah.
Because, like, that's always what happens. The first, like, 5 minutes we talked about in the team huddle, I was like, this is canonically the worst game from New South Wales, because we walk out assuming it's going to be a little easy, and then they score the first 3 goals. So we really didn't want that to happen, and I don't think it did, except for the first goal. But, you know, it happens. Not the end of the world.
Yeah, so looking at the rest of the day, we now have our next game is going to be the New South Wales Bluebottles versus the Queensland Thunderbirds, playing off for 3rd and 4th. The winner of that will play the loser of Vic Leadbeaters and New South Wales Blue Tongues tomorrow morning to see who goes into the grand final. How are you feeling about your next game?
I'm excited to verse Victoria 3 more times. That'll be really nice, once in the play-in and then when we win the first 2 and the best of 3. But no, I think it'll be really, really fun, because I think the last 2 years it's been like New South Wales and Queensland playing a lot of the games. We've only ever had like 1 game against Vic, so now it's like a bit of a switch. I was like, all right, so now we get 5 games against Vic. Cool, no worries. Look, I'm not trying to be overly cocky, but I do think our expectations are getting into the finals. So whether that is the win against Victoria or whether it is the win tomorrow against the winner of the 3rd, 4th, we beat both those teams by upwards of 100 points, so I think we're pretty confident we'll be in the finals regardless. But Victoria canonically has been a bit of an interesting matchup for us. Even though we've beaten them the last 4 years, none of the games have been like runaway games. Even when last year where our B team beat the Bluebottles beat Victoria a game, our game against Victoria was still like 40 points difference by the snitch catch.
Yeah.
So it's never like, we've never really like destroyed a Victorian team.
Especially after this morning, you guys did incredibly well, and we want to redeem ourselves this afternoon.
Yes, we are very, very happy with our performance coming in
think it
as our
should be.
first game.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Sure.
Like, I think you just have some really good matchups for us. Like, the beta game really matches up well against ours. You do have the physicality, and Victoria's known for their defense. And I think when you can compete in the beta game and your goal is to keep the game close, snitches everything. And
Yeah.
if you're in the snitch game, you deserve to win, you deserve to lose. It's sort of all up to the money.
Yeah,
And I
that's
think-
how we felt going after the first game. We were kind of like, oh, we were 30 points down, that's in range. Snitch or flag runner can just be a little bit of dumb luck sometimes.
Yep, 100%. 100%. I've seen catches caught for the wildest of reasons. I've seen a snitch get beat in the head by a random bludger and go, oh, I'm now a player, and turn around and give a seeker the snitch. So, like, all's up for grabs. Snitches fall over, randomly give tags, forget where seekers are. It happens. So if you can keep anything in range, like if we're about to have us versus you in range and then 3 games tomorrow in range, anyone wins.
Yeah, perfect. Ethan, did you have any last questions for Luke and Liv?
Just one last question. If you had to give one word of thank you or advice to coaches on your own team or the opposite team, what would they be coming from there?
Obviously, we have some bias here. Liv is dating Cameron Walker,
What
just
would you
so
say to your
everyone
partner,
knows.
So good. No, I'm really proud of the Bluebottles, not just because of Cam being the coach, but I think Harry Huang has also done an excellent job as assistant coach as well. And I'm really proud of our coaches as well, bringing it all together this weekend. And yeah, we're just having fun with it. I think that's the main thing with the sport. You have to have fun whilst you're competitive. So I think the coaches really try to advocate for that, and I think it's really good.
And like, just because we won doesn't mean the Blue Bottles don't have a really good chance of getting into the finals. Especially in a tournament with there's 4 teams, matchups are huge. Like, some teams just have better matchups against other teams based on size or agility or one random player who really destroys the other team. So it's very possible that we could end up in the finals against against the Blue Bottles or even Queensland, just depending on random matchups, snitch on, like, you never know. So just because you lose a game doesn't mean you're out of the tournament in any way, shape, or form.
Awesome.
Yeah, perfect.
Well, thank you very much, guys. We'll let you get into your shady locker room, get some stretching done, get some hydration, and then be sure to see you out in the field later on.
Perfect, awesome. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Nicola, do you want to say one last thing to the viewers before we say goodbye for this part of the broadcast?
No, just basically stay tuned. We've got finals coming up. We have a short break now. Our next game is so we've got Queensland versus New South Wales B, then Vic and New South Wales A. We've already explained how that works, so I won't go over it again. But please stay tuned. Otherwise, please follow us on Quad Ball 1. You can keep up to date with live scores, even if you're not able to watch the live stream. So thank you so much for supporting Quad Ball Australia. We really appreciate the viewership.
Make sure to also subscribe to this YouTube channel, like and follow their Facebook page and their Instagram page for all results and anything else that goes on in there.
Brilliant. I've been Nicola Gertler.
And I've been